Now, the global coronavirus outbreak is casting a lot of doubt over the spring break travel season and beyond. For those with travel plans overseas, it is really hard to know what to do or what your rights are. Joining me now is Will McAleer with the Travel Insurance Association of Canada. Will, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
People have so many questions, especially with March break just around the corner. You don't want to be alarmist, but would you advise travel in the first place?
Travel, I think it all comes down to comfort in a lot of the areas. As long as you're not going to an area where there's already an advisory that's up,
right.
You want to gauge your own comfort with going. So with March break here, we're certainly seeing stories of lots of individuals saying, hey, we're still going to go, but we're going to take the proper precautions.
Okay, so let's talk about insurance coverage. I mean, that is your expertise. What do you recommend to people?
So understand what you're covered for. I guess one of the things that we're seeing is our members are having increased call volumes because people are actually asking what they're covered for. And we think that's a really good thing.
All right, but how does that vary? Because a lot of companies are saying, look, you should have known by now, the risk is out there, therefore, in some cases, are you not covered at all?
Yeah, there are some policies out there that if you're buying the coverage now, they're saying, hey, you're not going to be covered for the COVID-19 or coronavirus as we know it, but others are allowing it to still be covered. The reason they're saying that is, hey, we know it's out there. We know it's spread from country to country, even region to region. So as a result, hey, that's not going to be covered because it's a known risk.
How much more would you or could you pay as a result of insurance? Because you can get insurance coverage that will be for whatever reason. Can you not?
So a cancel for any reason policy, that's right. For those who want a little more comfort, a little more certainty, if they're saying, wait, there's no advisory up. Right. So what we want to do is we just don't feel comfortable traveling anymore. So you're going to pay a little bit more. And the amount that you'll get back, so for the non-refundable costs related to your travel, you're not likely to get as much back. It might be 50 to 75% of that
All right.
cost.
What about for those who are quarantined or could be quarantined? What about insurance for them? Is that an option?
So if they've already purchased that and they're on their trip, trip interruption or the element of the plan that kicks in after you leave is a covered risk under those policies. So quarantine, people can at least understand that, hey, if you miss your trip, you miss your flight back, you want to make sure you'll be able to get back home. And that is a benefit under the policies.
There are a lot of people who are planning and have been planning, for example, their summer. And even before that, their flights. They paid for their flights, paid for their trips. In some cases, I've heard they're waiting for the flights to be canceled. They don't want to wait yet. I mean, what would you advise them? Would you sort of cancel it right now, where you still have an option, or hope for the best or the worst, depending on what you're looking at?
I'd probably give them the same advice that I'm giving to my own family who have got plans to travel this summer, even later this spring. In some cases, it's wait and see.
Yeah.
Let's see how it evolves, because what we're seeing are the airlines and other travel providers are getting fairly reasonable with some of their cancellation penalties. So often you can get some good satisfaction that way as well.
And look, it's going to be a huge, and already is a huge impact on travel and especially airlines. Of course, we'll follow this closely. Will McAleer, thank you so much for your insight this morning.